Why do you think nobody wants this meeting?
Fellow Guyanese, brothers and sisters, this is a live message from the studio of Channel 6. I interrupted the program of Channel 6 here to bring some notice, information to you, which is of general purpose and general knowledge. I want all the leaders of the opposition to listen to this information. I want all the leaders of the opposition to attend the program on Channel 6, the Voice of the People, 12:30 this Saturday. This is very important information, very important notice. The reason why I take this opportunity to interrupt the program on Channel 6 here to give you this information is because yesterday I attended the rally of the joint opposition in Square Revolution, and from what I'm listening from our leaders, they're not leading us, they're not guiding us. I had this information for some time now. I tried to, in my own way, to hint to the opposition what should be the next move, but apparently they're not listening. They're like the government, maybe the deaf, the dumb, and the blind, and they don't care for the people. So I'm going to give the opposition this opportunity to attend a program and asking Moses Nagamoto MP, Ramjatan MP, Bastille William MP, James Van MP, Joe Harman MP, and the many other lawyers in the opposition, or those who claim that they know the law. And I will ask the Speaker, the Honorable Speaker of the House, Rafael Trotman, to join this program. I want him to, because I'm calling on them all to attend the program, the Voice of the People, after I've started today. Now, let me give you the revelation. The revelation is that you know that I many times spoke about the no confidence motion in the government. The opposition wasted time in putting that no confidence. I said to them, Article 6 of the Constitution say you could carry out that no confidence. But I waited until Mr. President and Ramatar used the said Constitution to prorogue the Parliament on the 10th of November 2014 using Article 71 of that Constitution. The opposition is not telling you the truth. Yes, Mr. President have the power. I said what he did caused a crisis which I termed a parliamentary crisis. We have a parliamentary democracy. What he did is take out democracy from Parliament. Democracy was dead or died that day. But I'm going to ensure that democracy return to this nation using the same Constitution. Now you remember I had a program with MP Carl Greenwich, and I said MP Carl Greenwich had a motion basically to censure the President. You remember that? Now I wanted to show, you're going to see Mr. President photograph there. This will have an effect on the President of this country, so I'd like his photograph be shown. Now, the reason I asked Carl Greenwich to verify that motion was that I was giving the APNU and the entire opposition a hint what is the next move, but they didn't listen. So I will have to speak to them now. Article 180. I'm asking the entire opposition to utilize Article 180. Article 180 says this. The short title is removal of the President for violation of the Constitution or gross misconduct. It was an amendment. The amendment is 17th of 2000. I know the opposition wouldn't like what I have to say, but they lapsed big time here. Article 181 of the Constitution say, and I'm going to read the article. If notice in writing is given to the Speaker of the National Assembly, signed by not less than one-half of all the elected members of the Assembly, a motion alleging that the President has committed any violation of the Constitution or any gross misconduct, and specifying the particulars of all the allegations, and proposing that the tribunal be established under the article to investigate those allegations. And this is the important part. The Speaker shall. Remember, they had a dispute if the Speaker could summon Parliament? I'm giving the Speaker the power today. Speaker Rafford Trotman. And I continue. The Speaker shall, A, if Parliament is sitting or has been summoned to meet within 5 days, cause the motion to be considered by the Assembly within 7 days of the notice. Or, and this is the important part, people, the important part, and I want to see the President's face. The important part is this. 180, 1B, and this is what 181B say. If Parliament is not sitting, open brackets, notwithstanding that it may be prorogued, close bracket. You hear that? If it is prorogued, summon the National Assembly to meet within 21 days of the notice and cause the motion to be considered at that meeting. I'm giving the Speaker, Rafford Trotman, the power to summon the Assembly in 21 days. I'm asking Carl B. Greenwich MP to have his motion submitted back with all of the opposition signature. I want a proper motion to be put. Also use Article 71 the President used also as a violation. And send that motion Monday morning to the Speaker. I giving the Speaker the power to summon Parliament in 21 days. The Constitution is giving him that, because apparently the Speaker didn't know he had that power. So I'm going to give him that power. You're going to summon the Parliament in 21 days to consider that. And let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to fast track, and I'm going to carry you to Article 183, 3B. Or let me go to Article 3A. So 180, same 180, I'm going to tell you what's going to transpire. If the motion is declared to be passed under paragraph 2A, the Chancellor shall appoint a tribunal which shall consist of a chairman and not less than 2 other members, selected by the Chancellor from amongst people who hold or have held office as a judge of a court having unlimited jurisdiction. Blah, 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 blah. That's not important. B, say, the tribunal shall investigate the matter and shall report to the National Assembly whether it finding the particular of the allegation specified in the motion has been sustained. Okay, so let me now tell you what's going to happen to Mr. President. You see him standing there? Right now he's shivering. The same article 180B. This is the final doomsday for Mr. President. If the tribunal report of the National Assembly, if the tribunal report to the National Assembly that the tribunal find that the particular of any allegation specified in the motion have been sustained, the Assembly may, on a motion supported by the vote of not more than 2/3 of all the elected members of the Assembly, and don't get scared, resolves to the President be guilty of such violation of the Constitution, or as the case may be, such gross misconduct as incompatible with his continuance in office as President. And if the Assembly so resolve, the President shall cease to hold office upon the 3rd day following the passage of the resolution. Now let me tell you this. Remember, when the President passed the proclamation, no government minister, no government MP did not attend Parliament. When Speaker will summon and when the Speaker will give notice to the government that this motion will be laid and you're going to summon the Parliament in 21 days, to save face, the government would not attend. So the opposition will get 2/3. The opposition going to vote it, they get 2/3, the chancellor going to summon the tribunal to investigate the president. And I'm going to say this to the tribunal, if they want advice, I'm here to advise them. And Mr. President will be removed 3 days after that tribunal submit the report to the National Assembly. Now, thank you for listening, and please inform all of your leaders in Parliament, wherever they may be sleeping, they may be having coffee, eating dumpling, whatever. Tell them Jaipal Sharma is summoning them to the Voice of the People program at 12:30 for them to address this nation. I'm a former member of Parliament, and I'm saying that the opposition is not doing their work. And I'm saying I'm giving the Speaker, Dr. Trustman, the authority, after receiving the motion from Carl B. Greenwich, signed by all of the members of the opposition, that Mr. Speaker shall summon the Parliament to meet within 21 days. I want to see what the Chatri going to say about this. So thank you for listening to me, and this was a very important notice given to you live today. Thank you.
What do you think of an important speech?
Welcome, viewers and listeners to the Voice of People program. This is a live call-in program. Today, the 15th of November 2014. Day being Saturday, your host, former Member of Parliament, Jaipal Sharma. And what you saw there is my address to the nation around 11 o'clock today. And basically, I couldn't keep silent any longer. I gave the joint opposition all the opportunity to review the Constitution, to make recommendations, to lead the people of this country in the right direction. Apparently, I don't know what they're doing. They're sitting on their hands. They don't read. They don't interpret. They don't apply themselves. But so I take this opportunity earlier today to inform this nation of the possibility of the opposition going to the Speaker, and the Speaker have the authority under Article 180. Remember, this part of the Constitution was a kind of reinforcement if the President should ever prorogue Parliament for reasons that he may want to be evading probably conviction, maybe committed a criminal act. Remember, you see, I'm a young man, yes, but I will go back into history. I know about the 1978 referendum. I know the reason why. I know LFS Burnham put certain things in the Constitution. I know that the late Walter Rodney saw this happening and basically he fought against it. Basically he said Burnham was akin to King Kong. Okay, so, and we here in the opposition calling this president Dan Ramatar King Kong. So I couldn't stay quiet any longer. Even when I carry out my live calling program, I would listen to the people. I'd be angry with the people because they use this live calling program to talk about things. They abuse me in the program, and some of the things are trivial. I want people to talk about important things, but I don't push them in the way and guide them in that way because this is the Voice of the People program. However, at the end of the program, I would say, and I normally say, why you didn't ask me this question? Why you didn't do this and do that? And then I conclude the program. Well, the same way I deal with the opposition. I give them on a number of occasions opportunity to do what is right, to educate the people. I went out there yesterday at the Square of the Revolution to listen to our leaders. in Parliament that are now homeless, and now they want to make the Square Revolution their homes. But they are embarrassment to coffee. So I couldn't remain silent any longer. I had to break my silence. And I'm telling you what your leaders that you voted for, 175,011 y'all voted for them. This is what they can't do. This is what they can't see. However, they would not do it. You know why? Because I said it. I'm that little child like in the, the book, The Emperor in New Clothes. A little child who went out there to see the president taking his stroll in his fancy new invisible clothing when he was only in his trousers. And the little child say, look, the emperor is almost naked. Y'all can't see that? Well, I am that voice. And the opposition will not listen to me because basically they're embarrassed today. I didn't want to do this, but I had to do it. So we're going to ask Mr. Sankey to make his opening remarks, and then we go into the program.
Yes.
To let me see if you know what really I'm referring to, what really I'm speaking about, and to see if you agree with me. And of course, the time now is 1:15 or after, and there's no member of the opposition visit this television station to be on this program, this live calling program, because I actually summoned them. I want to hear their remarks. Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shah.
Good afternoon.
You know, watching in Parliament, I think that this government is boasting.
Did you heard my address to the nation?
I heard your address.
What do you think about it? I'm telling the opposition what to do. I'm telling the speaker you have the power.
Yeah, the speaker has the power.
So you think they would do it?
Yeah, I don't think so, because if there's a dictator, how could you?
What would dictator telling them the Constitution gives them the authority? Because he's a dictator, that is why they put Article 180.
Yeah, because they are dictating.
Okay, thank you, caller. Caller in there.
Hi, good evening, good evening, Mr.
afternoon.
Sankey.
Yes.
You know, the two parties that is rumbling for 50 years, they always have what you call them chief whips. But I tell you, your program is a cat and nine tails for all of them. You stay strong, you have my vote and my family vote.
But you understand my message to the opposition.
Yes, I understand it. And
You understand that I am saying to remove President Dan Ramtar. I tell them how to do it. The next president will be the Prime Minister, Sam Hines. I hope he will step up to the plate. And if it was anybody else who wanted to step up to the plate, they would rise to the occasion. But for him, he got to step up to the plate. But he would be the next president if we go to Article 180. And then the opposition could negotiate with him. I want to put a slap in the government face. The government will have to turn up on that date because they will have to save the president's head. So I'm saying to you, when they turn up to Parliament, the people will be out there in a number. People are going to spit on them and they're going to drown.
All right, hear this piece thing. I want the Guyanese people to hear this. When the Nazi authoritarian rise to power, there was a pastor named Martin Nayomela. He was very silent about what he did. And this is what after he left his word with the people. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left for me to speak for me.
Yes, that sounds like Peter denying Christ.
Religious communities refuse to speak out against corruption, discriminations, and impunity because it does not directly affect them. Indeed, we find that prominent religious people have positioned themselves as part of the machinery to benefit from it. Particularly, I now want to be vindictive, but look at the Christian areas.
Okay, thank you. But we must say the Catholic bishops speak out. Okay? So, Atisi speak out. OS speak out. OS General Secretary speak out. Who else did not speak or speak? One of the portions should be speaking is the CARICOM. They should be speaking out against this, should be making a statement. However, I didn't see anything. Who else should speak out? UNISOR should speak out. Okay, so these are the people that speak, these are the people that did not speak. Caller in there.
Mr. Sharma,
Yes.
I have something else to suggest, but when you bring up Salman should be the president, the next president for this country, like I tell you, anything Salman should be the next country for this president, president for the next country. All PPP supporter will turn back and have to support you because you will be the only Indian man and be the next leader for this country, believe me. Anything that happen. Thank you.
Okay, good, thank you, caller. I didn't say I'm promoting Sam Hines. The Constitution say, since he's the first vice president, he will have to take the position. If the PPP is not comfortable with it, they're going to do that usually shuffling they usually do. Okay, caller in there. Please be responsible. I'm going to disconnect you because you're private.
Good afternoon, Jaipal. Jaipal, hello?
Yes.
What you say is excellent about the opposition to come out, and if they don't turn up to show that they're concerned about the people of Guyana, then how would they receive vote on election? They have to stand up for our rights. What the president did is very wrong. They are criminals, they're destroying us, we're feeling the pangs of it. Okay, and I thank you very much for your ideas.
It's not ideas, it's the Constitution.
From this country?
But basically, I am the only one that is not in Parliament, that is not receiving a parliamentary salary, that is doing all the work of the opposition. I educate not just you, the people, but the opposition. And I hope they will take this opportunity to follow Article 180 of the Constitution, which we will remove Mr. President Ramatar put in place Sam Hines, and then we could negotiate with Sam Hines. But it's the embarrassment I will put to the President that he doesn't have the power to keep the Parliament out in the wilderness for 6 months. I'm going to force them back into Parliament and shame them, and also remove the President simultaneously. Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jaipal Sharma. I would like to say thank you for that wonderful speech that is addressing the nation. And the opposition, and I want Camera Grant to listen to that, right? Because they need to stand up and work together for this country, because Ramatara must go, and must go right now. I am an Indian supporter for the PPP, but no more for PPP.
Well, there should be no more for the AP and you and the AFC too. Because here I am calling upon them to come here, to sit with me, have dialogue. Early as Monday, they could go to the Speaker of the House. The Speaker could say, within 21 days, I will call the sitting of the Assembly. If the PPP refuse to sit, the opposition will have the majority. The Chancellor will be summoned. That's the Chancellor Judiciary will be summoned. He will appoint a tribunal. The tribunal will take the motion into consideration. And if by one of them the President is found guilty, let the tribunal report to the Assembly. Within 3 days, the President has to step down.
Directly. That has to be. And Chapman has to know his requirements and what he...
Well, he don't know. He don't know.
Have to do the job.
If the Speaker Chapman had known that he could have summoned the Assembly, he would have used Article 180 as an example. He didn't know. He did not know. He would have used Article 180 as an example to tell his clerk, Sherlock Isaacs, that listen, at least in the Constitution it mentioned I could summon, but when a majority of parliamentarians is in a motion signed by the opposition or the parliamentarians by majority, simple majority, instructive to call the Assembly. Caller in there.
Mr. Sharma, if the tribunal don't find the president guilty, what happens then?
Caller, if the tribunal don't find the President guilty, well then, okay, at least you could achieve one thing. You carry the President to the National Assembly, you make the National Assembly sit again. The opposition could have an opportunity to speak and embarrass his government. You will do your job. Okay? So you get them pay as a member of the opposition, but you're not working. I'm trying to put them back there for work for the people's interest. They're going to sit down 6 months in the hand, collecting the salary without representing we the people. So what's going to happen? They will have an opportunity to speak. And I tell you, the President will be found guilty. Caller in there.
Hello, good afternoon, Sharma.
Yes.
So, these bills have not come to the bills and not even my bills.
Pardon me?
These bills stop.
Yes, basically, it's a bill. It was not voted on. If it was voted on and waiting for the President of Senate, it would not die. But since it's still in the Parliament committee, everything that dealing in the committee level or as a bill will die, a natural death. Okay? However, those bills could be resubmitted because it's a new session. Okay? Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Sharma, you know you're not miskin, cool and hot at home. And the reason why you're teaching the world that you are the most important person in our lives. The reason why I'm saying this to you, if you have the liars who they're supposed to know the Constitution, they have something called the Gazette in front of them and they don't know these things, Mr. Sharma, then they're not fit to be our leaders. Mr. Shamika, let me tell you something now. Going back as far as this, just bear with me for 2 minutes. When Jack Dio had a problem with his wife, when he married her, the same parliament, when the Republicans asking questions about if he was right to do so until he was concerned, the people them telling you the man personal business. Coming out the day, he had a problem with Chronicle when they had it on the net with the school children from St. Rose's school. That one and say, they apologize to the nation. Mr. Sharma, the communal live with Mr. Nandalal. If it was Kaito News or Stabbat News that had edited these things on the air, or you had edited the air, what would have happened to y'all?
Yes,
Mr. Sharma?
correct.
I am asking simple questions. Why you say that these parliamentarians don't know, these liars don't know? They're not fit to be there, they're not fit to be our leaders because they're the ones supposed to protect us.
And they are getting paid to do that job. They're getting paid.
They're supposed to get them all the time. Well, you must be a person who backtracking for them. They're supposed to show you that they know what they're about.
Well, I can't stay silent any longer. I have to speak out. Yes, every one of them, including the speaker, is embarrassed today.
Mr. Sharma, what you do there? I'm saying to you, you're teaching a lot of people who say that they ain't interested, they ain't care, the Lord knows.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Sharma.
Caller in there.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a good thing what you mentioned is as a president. But you don't know tell me as a joke. Whoever come general election, you now win, and the country will work like the 16 and the 70s. I don't know of telling.
Caller, I put myself out there. I can't force you. The Lord, your creator, say give you free agency to choose. Who is me to tell you you must vote for me? Caller, you there? Hello? Caller, in there?
Hi, good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon.
Paul, you normally play Chetty Jargon videos and so on.
Yeah.
So, and I know you're a role model of yours. Could you tell me, if he was in Ramatar's position, or what do you think he might have done in this case? Thank you.
Well, in this case, I don't think it will reach this case. So, you said I'm a role model of him. Dr. Jagan will not allow it to reach this stage. He would have compromised with the opposition. So that is my explanation. He would not have reached this stage. He would have had to say, I could have prorogue, I could have go to the no confidence vote and lose it, although I'm the best debater, or my people would debate it, but the opposition could use the one-seat majority. He would not allow it to escalate. One time I could remember Dr. Chetty Jagan in an interview say, the black people is the bottom of the ladder, but Afro-Guyanese is the bottom of the ladder. However, he said it, but it offended the people because he was just making this remark saying that look, even the government, the PNC, had them at the bottom of the ladder, and his party going to bring them up. But the people was offended. Dr. Jagan apologized to this nation. He even was in tears. He wouldn't allow it to reach this position. Caller in there.
Hey, buddy Sharma.
Yes.
Why they got a serious problem, eh?
You got chikungunya?
Man, I trying to tell y'all people, appeal to this government. I could imagine if a little child get this thing going to happen. You ever tell you?
Okay.
All over, you can't walk, you can't even turn properly.
How I know you get chikungunya?
You know, pain, man, I know such a thing going to pain all over.
Okay, good. So you see, my revelation, this guy here, a frequent caller, I know he had chikungunya. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Caller in there.
Chikungunya.
Hello?
We have to look at that.
Hello? Yes, so Article 180 speak about removal of the president for violation of the Constitution for gross misconduct. Now, you know the opposition, and I could give you a list of violations. His Excellency Dan Ramtar was violated the Constitution since he took the oath of office. He took over from the predecessor. Remember, no ombudsman, now they get one, now they're fighting the ombudsman because the rule. That was a violation. No procurement commission, it's in the Constitution, that's a violation. No local government election, that's a violation. How much more violation you want? No ERC, no integrity commission, no public service appellate tribunal, those are all violations of the Constitution. The President warned himself that he, Mr. President of the Cabinet, instruct the Minister of Finance to go into consultative fund is a violation, gross misconduct. And I could go on and on and on. This man will be found guilty. And he will have to remove. Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
Now, Mr. Sharma, there's a question I would like to ask. Like how the President has broke the Parliament.
Yeah.
Does he still have control over the military forces?
Of course, the article of the Constitution that identify the President say the President is the head of state, he is the chief executive, and he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He only could be removed under the Constitution if you said he's a madman, he's mentally ill, or if the Assembly remove him, or if you use Article 180 and remove him, or by an election. And even in an election, the President is still the President until the President elected take the oath of office.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Mr. Sharma, just take a keen look at Mr. Isaac, the Clerk of Parliament.
I am looking at him.
He is not taking instructions.
Well, I'm looking at him, Carl. I'm looking at him. We're going to deal with him, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to advise the opposition and speaker how to deal with him.
Because he's taking instructions.
Okay, good, thank you.
Look at it.
Okay, look, is basically the virus of the city council sober is spreading. It is spreading. So it went over to the National Assembly because City Hall is not far from there.
Another car.
Okay? Our next call. Caller in there. Yes.
Already say that mainland nature cannot be favor with it. Because they can see why this country in this state. Mainland nature.
Yes. Well, I must say, when the opposition referred to as this president, His Excellency Dan Ramtar, as King Kong, I know the first person that ever put King Kong in the context of Guyana was the late Walter Rodney. The next person that said the president was King Kong was a critic of this government, Freddie, who the former President Barajagi took to court. And now this opposition is saying that this President Ramtar is King Kong. Burnham, LFS Burnham, Chetty Jagan, Janet Jagan, well, I forget to mention some mine. They were all president. Jack Dio, president. I don't see anything wrong with, I don't see the name or whatever is associated with King Kong. And if you look at this president, his name is Donald. He's ducking. He's ducking the opposition. He's ducking comfortability. He's ducking every single thing. So how could you call this man King Kong? Caller in there.
Hey, Ram Bandit, how you do?
Sita Ram, yes.
We see day before yesterday that where the ombudsman fined that the three directors to the bank were not at fault. I want to know if a president of this country can direct to dismiss people just because Donald left 10 million US to the Borbis place. What a shame and disgrace. My father died at the age of 88. And he said, son, you know me, what you do for me? Me want you hold on for one thing. So me said, Daddy, what that? You know what? He said, hold on from PPP. And he did at the age of 88. And so they be still hold on from PPP. But buddy, that don't, buddy. That don't. Because if the president can make somebody get dismissed, right, pal? We are strongly behind your back. You are not in power to help us. We have to give you power to help us. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And here again, in that scenario with Nubian Society, that's a private company. How Mr. President would influence that private company? But that company is known to be affiliated with this administration. When you look at the directors, when you look at the head of the organization, the chairman, you know, they were always affiliated with Freedom House. So that is how Mr. President then could have had that power to say, look, terminate this man's service because, look, you don't want to invest in the Barbies Bridge. But I would say to that CEO that he was wrong. He was wrong because any blind person could know Barbies Bridge would be a milking cow. So why Mr. President didn't terminate the service of the HPS, Dr. Rajalanchan? NIS could be benefiting from that investment in the Barbies Bridge from the commencement. But NIS take the money and gave who? CLICO. So they loan the money to CLICO for what? A 1%, 2%? And CLICO take the money and invest in the Barbies Bridge at how much percent? What? Like about 14, 15%? I just call a percentage because I don't want to give you the correct amount. I want you to ask your party people to let them tell you what transpired. Right? So when the share was up for sale, who you think went and buy it? Nubian Society. So they are more richer. That is why today they could reduce the interest on your loan. Well, this is some of the manifestations. So I give you examples. You could add to the amount of violation of the Constitution. When the President refused to sign the bills passed by the opposition, it activate motions, resolutions by the opposition. These are all violations. This man, as I said, will be found guilty. So what the Constitution says is that the opposition, and we have the simple majority, sign this motion, and it says this: even if the Parliament is prorogued, which is speaking about this situation. The reason why I didn't bring this to your attention earlier because I was waiting for the opportune time. And since I see Mr. President and his followers, his ministers and his MPs and the government side refuse to attend the Parliament on the 10th, I believe they wouldn't attend when the Speaker going to call the sit-in in 21 days. So that's going to give the opposition the 2/3. They don't want to activate this part of the Constitution because if they were sitting in the House and we activated, we wouldn't care to the level of the tribunal. Caller in there.
One question. For this 6 months, will these parliamentarians still be paid? Thank you.
Of course, your members of Parliament will be paid and they enjoy all the benefits. Okay? However, they wouldn't get food like when they would sit or when they get a sit-in. They wouldn't get no food. That's the only thing that will be taken away from them. Caller in the air.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
Now, what you would have read there, Mr. Sharma, it is quite clear that the opposition would have seen that article, read it, and know that they could have done something about what
You sure
happened.
about that?
Is it the fact that they are trying to hide so that in case that they become the governing body, these things are those should be hide from the people?
Listen, the opposition did not see it. If they had seen it, they would utilize it. Okay, let me tell you this: they would not utilize it because I say it.
No, but the AP and you might not want elections right away.
So that is the situation. But I'm giving you this, telling you the Constitution. Give your leaders, your representative, as Article 9 say, you give them the power, and they are sitting in the House to represent you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
However, you must tell your leaders, utilize 180. Tell them, the former MP JFAP Sharma, instruct them to utilize it.
Alright. Now, the President said that he had the power, the Constitution gave him the power. and because one of the reporters at his press conference asked him about the dictatorship. Now he says that he's using the same constitution that was there in the Barnum time. Yet he is not a dictator. But in the same, people used to call Mr. Barnum a dictator under the same constitution.
Okay, look, I'm going to read what the president said, and thank you, okay? The president said this. The constitution dictates how the government spends money. He used the word dictate. That is dictatorship. This is in his press release on yesterday. Now, he said dictate. Now, what we have here is a dictatorship, but it is supported by the Constitution, right? So, yes, it dictates that the president have this power. But basically what you're saying is a dictatorship that is supported by the Constitution. Carl, you're there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
I don't want to really take you away from your main topic. I'm a cadet officer for 6 years now. Right recently, the 10th cadet was promoted. And I don't have any discipline. I don't want to give my name over his phone. And the commissioner says I do this promotion. The public service person that them responsible for the promotion. They got people that get things in a file. But that's very much. They got people, they got towns who broke up care in front of Mr. Five from the police station. All these people that promote. I didn't do anything.
Well, I think you need to go public. Okay? You need to go public on it. Okay? And yes, Mrs. Sankey did alluded to you could go to the ombudsman. But you could also before you go public, you could also appeal to the Public Police Service Commission. Have an audience with the chairman of that commission and tell him what you know about the others that they appoint. Maybe they took those letters out of the files. Okay? And then if you don't have support there, ombudsman, you come to me. Okay? All right, good, thank you. And this officer should get his promotion. He waited a long time. Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
Paul, let's say for the next general election, what particular region would you target and why, sir? Thank you.
Basically, I'm not targeting any region. You're targeting the country. The country is your domain. Okay, so one region will not give you the presidency, and you should not target one region. You target the entire population, because the population, their support is dispersed amongst many households. Even in one household, you will find a PPP, a PNC, a WPA. Look at the leader of the opposition. His son-in-law is from the AFC, and he's the leader of the opposition, who trying to bring the AFC to form a coalition with the APNU. So even in that house, there is a mixture. So how could I focus on a particular region when, as a very small subset of the voting population, there is disparity right in your home? Caller in there.
Sorry, yes, good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
My contribution is that I feel the PPP is big in a hole, and the inevitable is very soon.
Well, the inevitable don't have to be. I'm saying utilize Article 180. Why you want war?
No, I'm not saying it in a general sense of war. But what I'm saying is that the PPP party would not stand up another 5 years.
How you know that? Let me tell you this. When the president, and he addressed this in a statement, and I could refer to his statement. Let me don't refer to the statement now, because I will have to look to see it in particular which line he would have stayed to. But basically what he said, and listen to me, what Mr. President said in that address to the media yesterday was that basically in relation to what you said, I, Mr. President, would not use the 6 months to go on a spending spree. This is what he said. But we know that even when the assembly is sitting with the full opposition, this president is instructing the Minister of Finance to spend money without the approval of the assembly. So what he's saying here, now there is no assembly, when there is darkness, he's going to be more transparent? Well, that's a lie. That That is why we had Article 180, gross misconduct. So, no. But in addition to spending the taxpayers' money without scrutiny from the opposition, this is what the government going to do. They're going to what? They're going to commence issuing out the mega project contracts. You see, Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, Robert, Name and Nature, you see that he's now saying, come, Isle Explorers, come, ensure you go and find Isle. Well, they find the Isle already, long before, but the sweetener was not good enough for them. So they're going to find Isle soon. And then, of course, these big companies are companies that give them a nice sweetener to keep them nice and quiet and mind them for the rest of their life, even the children's life. Okay? So they're going to find Isle. They're going to use the LCDS money. They're going to commence the Amila, and they're going to do these other things. They're going to produce a next fancy budget for you, but the AFC said they wouldn't support the budget, and they're going to buy your votes. So why you say they wouldn't get back in office? It's easy to fool the people. Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
I quite shame of between you and the Alliance of Change. I'm
Yes.
not coming out to this weekend here with you today.
Yes.
I'm an elder senior citizen and I quite shame of them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your support. Yes, so a part of this statement here, this is what the President said, and I found strange. He continued to speak of his three options. He continued to say that, look, I had the option to go to the assembly, debate in no confidence. He said my people would have won the debate hands down, they didn't have to fight. But no, I didn't use that. But why you didn't use it? Why you didn't want to use it? He didn't explain why. He said I could have dissolved the parliament and call election, but he didn't say why. But when he reached the aspect of prorogued, he said the reason why. Now he's saying, you know why? I want the Amerindian people, the people in the bush, to get registered. Well, registration closed, it's not open yet. So just tell somebody, just tell Mr. President that. Caller, you're near.
Yes, Mr. Jaipal.
Yes.
Good afternoon. You are Mr. Sankey.
Good afternoon.
Jaipal, I respect your office and everything, but something that upsets me. Is there not better words you could use to describe the opposition other than saying that they're deaf, dumb, and blind? Thank you.
Well, I said that the government is deaf, dumb, and blind. So why I can't say it to the opposition? This is the problem I have with you, the people. You're so petty. You want me to cost down the government. But when I do the same to the opposition, you're a knife. So the opposition, to prove they're not deaf, dumb, and blind and without a heart because they collected money, they're going to use Article 180. Call in there.
Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
What to educate the public, man, is the Article 180. Mr. Sharma, right now, if we get a parliament in this country, nobody's supposed to pay tax. We can't be running without a government. The harm of government.
No, taxation come under the executive branch, and the executive branch is not removed. They have laws governing taxation, okay? Yes, the Commissioner General will still be alive and active. If you don't pay your tax, he will come and seize your property. Caller, in there.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Listen to me.
Yes.
You know, you talk something, but you know, the thing we are talking, you know, you buy and move and you go a husband,
Yes.
in your father.
Not, I didn't, I grew on Barn and Jar. It's shorter time than that, but I don't want to go and say how he was wrong. However, if you want, you could call me and I'm going to explain to you how he was wrong. Everybody wants to talk about the Constitution. They really don't study or read the Constitution. So, yes, they wouldn't go up to November 2015. They will go most likely up to June, July, and I could prove it to you. Okay? Caller, in there.
Sharma, I think the one reason why the opposition is saying anything, for 6 months they're collecting money. So what do you want?
Okay, thank you. And I must say, I apologize that I have to discontinue the program. The time is up. However, this is a revelation that will rock this country. It will gain attention internationally. And let us see if our opposition, as their supporters annoyed with me, that I refer to them as deaf, dumb, and blind, and even heartless, like the PPP, I put them in the same category, okay? They could change that. Let us see if they're going to go with 180. If they don't go to 180, then the deaf, dumb, and blind, and heartless, because they're getting paid, you are suffering. The president's going to prorogue, and he already prorogued, and he's going to dissolve, and he could prorogue again, and he could get his full term in office, and the opposition going to get their full pay till 2016, 2017. And the next election, the due date is not 2016, it's 2017. But again, the interpretation in the Constitution, they don't know. Mr. Sankis?
Yeah, but I would just divert. Jaipur, I think we need to look at this chikungunya situation seriously. We saw what happened in Jamaica, shortage of blood because of the chikungunya outbreak. We want to know how Blood Bank can give us an idea if there's a shortage here in Guyana, because we have a serious outbreak of chikungunya virus in Guyana. It is affecting the blood supply, and you have to be careful. You know, people with chikungunya who might want to donate blood, not realizing they have the virus, and we're in trouble. What measures were in place to ensure that we don't get that chikungunya?
Yes, well, thank you. And just to say, before I made my address to the nation, I did contact the opposition, and none of them answered the phone, except for one, I wouldn't say who. However, the one that should answer his phone actually probably blocked my number from calling him. So they have no interest in working for the interests of these people, of this country. Have a blessed day, and join me for more The Voice of the People program. Let us hear what will be the comments on the print media in relation to my revelation. Let us see what the chattery going to say about it. You know, the chattery warrior and thoroughbred. Let us see what he's going to say about it. Remember, I always say you don't know to interpret the Constitution, or you fail to interpret the Constitution correctly, because that is how they operate. They know the right way, but they wouldn't go it. They would not go on that road. They will do the thing. Good. So let us see what they're going to say. This is a revelation that is going to rock this nation and rock the minds of people. To see a representative in Parliament from the opposition side is not working in your interest. Thank you. Have a blessed day.